Good morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever. Welcome. We're gonna be streaming a match for the tournament that's currently going on for the Chaos Galaxy Discord, Meteor Stop Off 2. So this is a round robin format currently. 2 groups. 5 people, and everybody in that group plays each other. So, should be pretty epic. Now we're gonna give Fish a few minutes, so I'm gonna quickly just kind of give my thoughts on what is. Oh, never mind. We're already up here. Here we go. All right. Excuse me. Pardon me. We got Diamond 100%. Go vote in the poll if you haven't already. Pretty epic. Yeah, so we're good to start. This'll be interesting. We got GoldfishGallant, which is the fishy, and Diamond and the DiamondDeploy. So this is my thoughts. So the top decks right now, there's Sindel, there's Roka, and there's Sindel, Roka, there's Gaius. Those are kind of the big boys. There's also like, I don't know, Zemus, Rainbow, crap. So what I'm thinking is that someone's gonna probably be playing a top tier deck. Probably both will be playing some sort of top tier deck. Like we got like Scardian. We got like Scardian deck. It's not really a Roka deck anymore. It's more of like just the Scardians plus a bunch of other stuff. And we got Sindel Tempo. And we got Gaius Aggro, as well as Gaius Mind Control. So this will be interesting. I'm not sure what any of these guys are playing. Probably should. Okay. Gaius and Roka. So we're probably going to be seeing some Scardians from Fish, and DiamondDeploy is probably playing. It's going to either be aggro or it's going to be mind control. So we'll see what happens. Either that or I'm completely wrong and one of these guys are playing something really interesting and really wacky. So let's see what happens. So Diamond's going first or second. My bad. Second is always good. That's something to go by. Diamond is definitely the big boy. All right, what do we got? Okay, nothing much. Everybody's just farming stars. Oh, and we got Wagyu Man. Okay, interesting to come out of Gaius, but I'm wondering if that was played. If that's like, that is weird. That's a bit of a wacky doodle card for that. Oh, now I remember. Fish plays. Yeah, so Shiozi and Lavamo. Yeah, this is definitely going to be the Scardians deck. There's no no targets, which is pretty unfortunate. However, does get a good lay of the land. We got all three of the main attachment card, like, like all the big boys in terms of attachment cards, like Abomination, Phantom Matter. So he's pretty stacked up right now. Looks like he's looking to just try to draw as much as possible. Whack-A-Man, though, such a wacky dual card. Anyway, Shiozzi and Lava Mole. It's crazy how this card has made a comeback ever since, like, Battle Activators. Like, once we've solidified the idea of there's being three these, like, it is a very good source of removal, and can swing for 2. Yeah, it's seen a comeback. I think it was played a bit, like, in the earlier days, but now it's seen a comeback in some decks, mostly just Fish. I think it's mostly just Fish that's been toying around with it. So yeah, the Shiozzi and Lava Mole, that didn't really do anything, but he's gonna bring out Scardian Boy, and we're gonna start seeing the loop. Ooh, this is really close to me. I think the mic needs to be like a bit back. Okay. All right. So yeah, currently both guys have defense stars. Ooh, we might see the Glah ability get activated to get rid of this Guardian. Gaius is it's going to be really important to use Glah's ability in a timely manner, because I mean, there's other options to defeating the Guardians, but generally they're not great. You're gonna have to find different ways to do it, like that. Just change the planet, and okay, that was a pretty epic play. Point Turret is going to get 4 points for Fish. That was really well timed. That's just gonna allow Fish to not get beat down. Yeah, that was a very good strategy for Diamond to use. Diamond to that is such a good strategy. So I know definitely Fish is probably thinking for the next game he needs to bring out Super Flooper to do some anti-meta against Gaius. Probably. That's what I'm thinking. Although he might not, because the thing is ever since that's been happening, Gaius decks have been leaning more into the kind of like rainbow side of everything, putting in a variety of planets. Not as many Gaius cards, just a lot more Whack-A-Man. Honestly. Anyways, Fish was thinking a lot, and it looks like what he's going to do is bounce back the droplet squads, and then hit the Super Flooper. It's probably a decent play. It just diffuses all threats pretty swiftly and doesn't allow Diamond to draw. So Diamond has plenty of stars to do something. It just is figuring out what to do. Does he want to gain some control through attachments. He's got all 3 attachments. He's got a lot of it. Actually, he's got all 4 technically. Like, quote unquote, like Phantom Matter, for sale sign. Or, sorry. No, it's technically 3. Anyways. Yeah, Abomination Tube, stuff like that. Diamond decides to hold back a bit. Which is going to buy Fish a little more time to prepare himself for another strat. And he uses Relihex Mine, which means he is gaining cards pretty quickly. And is basically going to try to balance himself out right now. Diamond is definitely looking for Fish to hit the Droplet Squaws so that he can get 2 more cards. And just kind of solidify his hand so that he has like a very like he won't. I bet Diamond's trying to look for a like super big cool strategy that's gonna like wipe the floor and do something pretty big. Maybe looking for an activator to help support him in case there's a battle activator played. So Fish may or may not hit the Droplet Squaws, and he decides not to. Yeah, and that's probably a good strategy, trying to hold Diamond off from gaining too much options. However, he has Thornborg, which means he's going to set off the Gla combo. Yay! And that's also going to draw him 2 cards anyways. So, was Fish's stalling, was that a good idea? I don't know, but we'll see what happens. Nevertheless, Fish still has, I'd say he still has card advantage, especially after that big combo. No, actually it's going to be pretty even. Not that card advantage matters, but another thing to think about is Diamond has star advantage, which means he has a lot more ability to play bigger plays than Fish has. Although I will say the entire playing field is pretty fair right now. Wait, what? He just passed the turn? Oh boy. Interesting. Although I don't think that's anything special. I mean, it's not like... Oh, okay. Well, he's going to kill that, which is... Okay. All right. Sounds good. And he's going to crash into that. Fish is playing very interesting right now. Yeah, Beast of the Black Hole being used on 2 weak creatures seems like a bad idea. But Fish must have something else in mind. I mean, well, for one thing, he doesn't want Diamond to draw more cards to give him even more options. Now he has big card advantage, but this looks like it's going to be preparing him. Oh, is he going to mill? Interesting. And what does he mill? He mills, Galaxy Crash. That's not great. And Time Flash Portal. However, the moon getting in there is an option for Solomancer. And here we go. Just a huge thing, and look at that. A perfect play. Goes in, he wipes the board, doesn't allow Diamond to draw, plays these, sets up Solomancer, and has the AAA to back it up. However, we see For Fail sign come out, and that's going to cause quite a lot of trouble. And Peltham is going to come out and is literally going to stick Scardian to the ground. So Diamond has this covered. This is going to be a huge play and no response. So Diamond gets a huge number of points. Not as much as Fish per se, but that is going to push us easily into the end game now. Like we're quickly moving from the mid game into the end game, as now Diamond has a lot of stuff set up. Time Flash Portal is going to come out, but the main issue is that so Solar Mancer comes out, and that's going to diffuse that potential threat. But Fish has so hard. Okay, so Fish has that. Oh, and Solar Shroom is going to come out. Look at this! Oh my goodness, this is some fantastic strategy, and he's going to double up on the Moon Scardians. That's insane, and that's game. Wow. All right, that was a fantastic first game. We definitely, so we got to lay of the land. So Diamond is playing technically, I feel like I'd say like a mind control deck, a little more of, it's kind of like a mixture of things, like a bit of mind control, and yeah, I think it's mostly mind control. We haven't really seen actually a ton of what Diamond plays, but Fish is definitely playing his solo aggro. That's what it's called, I think. We're moving on to game 2. So the thing to think about is most of that was just a lot of good cards and everything just kind of being in Fish's hands. Fish just had the tech to deal with everything. Had activators, had resources, had all the different supporting cards to be able to get him to a quick finish. And Diamond definitely was really threatening with what he did with his stuff, but I think Fish knew that like at some point before those like last 2 turns that he was like set to go and could literally do GG's probably. Like it kind of just looked like he was pretty confident with being with being able to beat Diamond in that first game. So obviously partly I don't know if there was really any mistakes. It was mostly just Fish they both had the right cards at the right time, but Fish had the better cards. But what Diamond could be looking at, but Diamond does need to watch out for that. Does need to watch out for Fish having like maybe because a lot of what Fish did is he was able to diffuse a lot of the threats through good card play. So what Diamond needs to make sure is that maybe he needs to try to hit Fish back with that kind of stuff. The kind of he needs to push with trying to diffuse things, trying to get rid of things that could potentially give Fish earlier advantage, and then set himself up for success. Because it is true that it is kind of like because once you get those solos set up, they're pretty annoying to deal with, and so it might be trying to figure out how to get rid of some of those cards in Fish's hand. I don't know if Diamond has that type of cards in his deck or even his sideboard, but that is also something in the future that if this becomes a deck that that is played by Fish in a next tournament, or other people play it, like, players are going to need to watch out for that deck. Players are going to need to find cards and ways to be able to get rid of that type of stuff. But that's also why it's one of the best decks in the current format. So I don't know, man. Diamond is going to go for an early Beast of the Conjurers, setting up some zones. Beast has seen a lot of play because it's just some good zones for a good price. I'd say usually it's better later in the game because you get better bang for your buck, but it still has solid stats for the general thing and hits for 3, sets up Thorngabork. So setting himself up to be able to latch onto these things. I think Diamond plays a lot off of these killed abilities to set himself up for getting more cards and getting more options and getting different things that will lead him to victory. Fish probably has similar things, but being a Chaos Galaxy player or any trading card player is you gotta work with what you got. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, those Relic Hex Mines, they do come in handy. Like, sure, they don't have like bodies or anything, but they're just good throwaway cards. So I'm guessing Fish does have Droplet Squads maybe somewhere. But I think his cards mostly, like, it's Relihex and Droplet probably. While Diamond's playing Thorngabor, Droplet, and Wackuman, which is like a crazy amount. Another reason that we've seen a lot more variety in terms of planets in decks is because of Soul Shroom, which you saw Fish play, because that's able to free play literally anything as long as you set yourself up for it. Anyways, Fish is going to hit Thorngabork and is going to use For Sale Sign to be able to kind of play with Diamond a little bit, you know, do that. However, Deep Space Lighthouse is going to come out. And obviously Fish cited Super Flooper, but that's actually going to diffuse that threat very, very well. I think Diamond knew exactly how, like, and that's the thing. Actually, that was some good stuff. And that's probably why Gaia's Mind Control is going to become the best Gaia's deck, is because whether or not you use Super Flooper, even though other players have, it's a very anti-meta for Gaia's card, Gaia's Mind Control uses options to be able to take control of things from the same planet. So that was a good move. However, it really doesn't matter in the long run. Fish because that's just part of the deck. Fish's main goal is to get out the Solomancer and the Scardians. I will say that Diamond committed hard to getting both of these guys. He's down to 1 star. Of course, Fish isn't super better. Like, 6 stars isn't a ton, but we will see what happens. Time Flash Portal comes out, and Phantom Matter, which I gotta say, Time Flash Portal, in my opinion, is definitely one of the coolest cards, just because of that, how you can play off of the fact that the card is killed, quote unquote, and use that to your advantage. Such an illegal play. Oh yeah, Oh, that's actually really interesting. Never mind. It's year 26. Never mind. I'm That was a good catch on Fish's hand. Interesting. It is interesting though when it comes to intricacies like this. So, Deep Space Lighthouse. Yeah, it says take control. It doesn't mean that it's now the opponent's card. It just means you take control of it. It's more like a puppet. Interesting. Well, it's good that we got that recorded because that's a good intricacy that we need to remember for the future. Is that taking control of a creature doesn't mean that you can free play. That doesn't mean that it's their opponent. It's more like a puppet. That's going to be the term. Here, I'm going to state it again if anybody wants to use it for reference. To take control of a creature in terms of card text is to take it like a puppet and not as the opponent's. It's a puppet, but not the opponent's card. It's their card taking control like a puppet. There you go. There you go. And now that can be on the quote board. Maybe. I don't know. Interesting. Interesting spaghetti. Anyhow, Fish is definitely going to pay the consequences for that. Diamond is that was a bit of a misplay. Not too much. Just the deal is that Diamond definitely has himself set up to make another big attack. Doesn't have the stars to do much except attack, but the other thing is, who knows, Fish might have a battle activator. So that's definitely something that Diamond has to keep in mind. Does he really want to hit up, or does he want to hold it back? Oh, something happened. Oh, misplay. That's a rip. No cheese. Well, now they're even. So, I guess everything works out in the end. Oh, by the way, this is not a sponsorship, but if you want good card sleeves by Dragon Shield, they're pretty good. Completely random. Anyways, that was my mini ad break. Unsponsored. Super Flooper coming out and gonna hit for 3 points or 4 points. Did I see? Goodness, my brain doesn't work. So now it's Fish's turn. Fish, I don't know what he's thinking right now. He's got a lot of zones to work with, but the question is, what is he going to do? Only 8 stars. Diamond is applying a ton of pressure right now. Shout to the heart, you're too late. You give love a bad name. Near, 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 near. Lots of thinking going on. Alright, so for sale sign is going to be coming in. And we're going to see Time Flash Portal come out to be able to swing for 3. So it definitely seems like Fish is in a bit of a tight spot right now. His card pool's probably not the best. Probably doesn't have a ton of good like solid options. Either that or he does have some options, but he's not ready to play them yet. DiamondDeploy is going to retaliate with Pelfam and is going to get rid of that and is going to immediately apply some more pressure. However, Diamond has not as much resources, nor does Fish. I don't know. Fish is definitely in the tighter position. Has to think carefully, or else Diamond could technically go in for the GGs. Just get a battle zone and go in. Assuming that Fish doesn't have those battle activators on him. That could be what happens. And yeah, that's a lot of what we see in this game. We see a lot of a bouncing back and forth of pressure, a lot of diffusing threats through cards that, or through card abilities, or through creature abilities or card abilities. That's a lot of what this game is. It's diffusing things and then going in for a big hit. That's most of the strategy, because the thing is that hitting creatures outright, that's not as efficient as on the opponent's next turn they can just throw out some more creatures and essentially stall. So it's better to get rid of them somehow, like Time Flash Portal, and is actually going to use Phantom Matter tech again, and that's going to throw Fish up into 17, and now we're getting into the end game. This is getting pretty intense. Diamond has a ton of options. Apparently not enough options to do anything but use those creatures. Fish might have a way to diffuse these and go in for the GGs. He technically only needs to get rid of one of these in his turn and then battle to win the game. So let's see what happens. So Fish is probably thinking a lot. Is there a way to go in? Obviously, Diamond could have a battle activator. It's definitely a risk to use resources to try to go in for the game. So it's a bit tense right now. Does have the option to set himself up for something. Oh, doesn't attack. Fish is definitely playing a style in which he's trying not to play off of the effects on this. Gonna buy a third creature zone using Zamorzed, and that's gonna go in for the battle zone. Is this GG's? Zamorzed, and that's a GG. Wow. That was good. Fish took no risks with that combo. Literally did nothing that could have used the battle activator to do that. But even so, what is interesting is that Diamond literally did not get the ability to play a single battle activator, which is kind of cray-cray. So that is Fish versus Diamond, and I think I'm gonna actually move on I heard there's another game that's brewing. Oh, but okay, so I'm getting post game feedback. So Diamond apparently drew one battle activator. Which is not great. That is not great at all. All right. And apparently Fish had AAA. So that's a huge big fat rip. So it seems like there is going to be another game at some point soon. So I will take a short break, and whenever this game comes on, I will stream it for you guys. Thanks for watching. Remember, the happiness is a warm puppy. And yeah, I mean, I'll be streaming these next 2 days probably a lot because all the games are happening around this time. Yeah. I'll do a little bit more post-game jargon. I'll just give a few more thoughts. It was a really good game. It was really well done. Both players had some pretty good strategy. It does seem though that the reason that Diamond was walloped is likely due to bad drawing, and that is that's part of card games. Honestly, card games are all about seeing what you can draw. And with 34 cards, it's really hard to be able to get cards in there that will optimize your draws. Like, obviously, you can have Thorngabork and Relhex Mine and etc., but, like, yeah, it is interesting. And that makes me feel like this kind of format has a lot of that kind of... The goal is to draw what you want. Which, I mean, honestly, that's usually what happens for any card game. I'd say most card games, because of it always being dependent on what you draw, that's the main goal throughout more sets coming out and the game progressing is trying to figure out ways to optimize getting the resources needed to play your decks. So for Roka, it's finding ways to do that. Like there's like two major things that you need. You need cards that can draw you the things that you need, and you need cards that can diffuse potential threats. And there you go. That's my CG knowledge. Anyways, we will see what other games happen, and I will catch you later. Spaghetti.